Welcome back to The Explainer. Let's just dive right in, because today we're looking at something honestly fascinating. When we think of global superstars, and specifically the members of BTS on a massive worldwide tour, we instantly picture these glittering stadium stages, deafening pyrotechnics, and just tens of thousands of screaming fans. But what actually happens behind closed doors? Today, we're going to strip away the glamour and take a close look at the surprisingly relatable, highly disciplined, off-stage daily routines of these guys, straight from their 2026 BTS FESTA normal logs. I want you to picture this for a second. You've just performed for 3 solid hours in front of a sold-out stadium. The adrenaline is absolutely pumping through your veins. The roar of the crowd is literally still ringing in your ears. You pile into a van, head back to a dead-quiet hotel room, and then what? What do you actually do when the stage lights go off and it's just you in an unfamiliar city? Well, the reality is refreshingly grounded. To see how they actually keep this momentum going, we're going to hit 5 key things today. The reality of touring, the intense fitness grind, finding mental peace, everyday self-care and chores, and finally, anchoring the extraordinary. All right, part 1, the reality of touring. And closely tied to that is part 2, the intense fitness grind. Look, the biggest thing to understand about a global tour is that it's basically a massive marathon of displacement. Sustaining greatness means you have to somehow manufacture a sense of normalcy inside totally anonymous hotel rooms across shifting time zones. Doing that night after night takes elite stamina, but how they maintain it is incredibly individualized. You've got Jung Kook waiting until almost midnight to power through a heavy, full-body routine. Then there's V and J-Hope teaming up during the day for this high-volume, punishing shoulder workout. And then, brilliantly, you have Jin working out during the day too, but taking a much more, let's say, human approach, actively trying to bargain his way down to a minimum effective dose. Let's break these down. So let's check out Jung Kook's approach. It is 11:20 p.m., he's just eaten, and instead of crashing for the night, he hits the hotel gym. He actually mentions that working out his whole body every single day is just what suits him best. And it is a grueling progression. Clean form pull-ups, lat pull-downs, moving on to dips on whatever equipment he can find, chest presses, heavy side lateral raises, seated rows, shoulder presses, and dumbbell curls. The absolute best detail, though. He powers through this exhausting late-night gauntlet while blasting ILLIT's upbeat pop track, Magnetic. Meanwhile, V and J-Hope tackle their fitness from a completely different angle. 300. That's not a typo, that is the staggering number of side lateral raise reps V and J-Hope are targeting for their shoulder day. They build up to this massive volume using lighter weights, doing sets of 50, 40, 30, and 20 reps. What makes this even more wild is that V mentions they're doing this intense arm workout right after their wrists are already sore from playing pickleball the day before. They use the momentum and bounce from their knees just to push through the fatigue, which really shows their physical resilience. But then we have Jin, and he provides what might honestly be the most relatable moment of the entire tour. The guy's jet-lagged, waking up at 6 a.m. and completely hitting a wall by 2 a.m. He's in the gym with Jimin, and he asks this brilliant, completely fair question. People are supposed to get healthier when they rest, so why do we have to work out to get healthier? Jin is literally bargaining with Jimin, opting to cap his sets at 3 instead of pushing for 5, jokingly concluding that not overdoing it might actually make him cooler. It's just this hilarious, humanizing moment that reminds us, yeah, they feel the burn and the exhaustion just like the rest of us. Which brings us to section 3, finding mental peace. Okay, so the physical maintenance is rigorous, but what about the mind? Amidst all the screaming crowds and chaotic travel, finding quiet stillness is absolutely vital for them to recharge. Just look at the simplicity of RM's morning. It's 11 a.m., he doesn't even have his contacts in yet, so he's rocking what he calls his ultra-high prescription glasses. He sits down with a book he's been slowly chipping away at for about a month. No heavy beats playing, no staff rushing around, just the peaceful, quiet ASMR of pages turning and birdsong right outside his window. It's a complete sensory reset, a deliberate choice to just ground himself in stillness before the day gets crazy. Suga, on the other hand, finds his mental peace through practice. At 2 p.m. on a rare day off, he's in his hotel room with a cold can of soda, setting up his portable rig. He recently treated himself to this gorgeous Fender Custom Shop guitar inspired by Eric Clapton's famous Blackie. And since you can't exactly haul massive gear on tour, he relies on a super convenient mini amp and a cost-effective gig bag. Fun fact about that bag, he bought it simply because he saw a session musician using it back at a Busan concert. He spends his downtime just practicing songs he wants to learn, keeping his mind engaged and constantly refining his craft. And this detail right here perfectly captures that work ethic, his Oltex 1.0 guitar pick.
This isn't just a piece of plastic, it's a visual symbol of his dedication. Originally sharp and pointy, it is completely worn down from his relentless practice in these hotel rooms. Even at the absolute pinnacle of global success, he's quietly grinding away on his days off to become a better musician.
Moving on to Section 4, Everyday Self-Care and Chores. That intense internal discipline naturally bleeds right into their external routines. You might think global superstars have an army of people doing everything for them, but these logs show a really meticulous, hands-on approach to daily upkeep. Take J-Hope's 1 p.m. routine before heading out. He walks us through this precise 4-step skincare regimen. He washes his face, but here is a fascinating little detail. He specifically avoids regular hotel towels to protect his skin, buying and using separate paper towels for his face instead. He follows that up with a toner pad, then essence with a vigorous power massage for his face, and finishes with lotion. He is actively managing his own well-being down to the exact type of towel he uses. And he puts that exact same level of care into how he presents himself to the world. His outfit of the day, his OOTD, is so methodically pieced together. He checks the weather, sees it's hot, and grabs some shorts. He purposefully picks out socks that bring out this fun, kitschy vibe. He grabs his dedicated tour accessory bag, throws on some blue glasses, and most touchingly, puts on a necklace that was actually a gift from Jin. He curates his vibe with total intention, snaps a quick photo, and heads to work. But, as you can imagine, sometimes the chaotic logistics of a chore leave zero time for those slow, methodical routines. Let's look at Jimin's timeline to really get a picture of the tour's relentless pace. It's 6 p.m. They literally just walked off stage after a massive show in Tampa. The adrenaline is still peaking, but Jimin has to instantly shift gears. He has to pack his shoes, his contacts, and his daily supplements because they have to rush straight off to their next destination, El Paso. He is literally scrambling to pack his life into a suitcase. And right in the middle of that packing frenzy, we get this wonderfully funny moment. Jimin remembers he has to take his health supplements. Now, normally you take a vitamin C packet, mix it with some water, or swallow it with a drink, right? Well, Jimin's method is pure chaotic efficiency. He totally admits to the camera he has no idea how he's actually supposed to take it, so he just rips the packet open and dumps the powder straight into his mouth. It is just a quick, hilarious reminder of the hurried reality behind the scenes. And hey, if you have ever felt completely overwhelmed by travel laundry, Jimin is right there with you. Just listen to this log. He's standing with his back to the camera, wrestling with his clothes, grumbling, "Folding clothes is such a pain. They'll get all wrinkled if I fold them like this." He debates it for a split second and then just shoves them in, deciding, let's just fold them like this. There's no problem at all. It is the ultimate relatable struggle. Even global superstars hate dealing with wrinkled clothes and packing. Which leads us to our final part, Section 5, Anchoring the Extraordinary. So how do all these scattered fragments of normalcy actually tie this massive operation together? Well, the glamorous illusion of tour life, the screaming crowds, the private jets, the perfect stage performances, all of it is built entirely on a foundation of disciplined, everyday habits. Whether it's Jung Kook's midnight pull-ups, RM reading to the sound of birds, Suga wearing down his guitar pick, J-Hope's meticulous skincare, or Jimin desperately rushing to pack his bags for El Paso, all of these individual habits serve as an invisible anchor. They keep them grounded, healthy, and sane. They make the dizzying heights of global superstardom actually survivable. So, I want to leave you with a question today. Seeing how these incredible artists rely on such simple, grounded routines to navigate their totally extraordinary lives, what normal daily habits anchor your own busy life? What are those quiet, everyday things you do that keep you focused and moving forward? Think about it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep thriving, and I'll catch you on the next one.